Hey everybody again, this is Furious Jodo doing another commentary here. This is game 2 between Artosis and MorroW in the ESL IEM tourney in Cologne, Germany that happened, I think, like August 18th, August 19th, that weekend. Artosis is the red Zerg in the right-ish, east-ish, and we have MorroW in the south as the blue Terran. This map is Metalopolis, very large map, very Zerg happy map usually. Most Zerg players will choose this map if they lose a game. I don't recall if they were able to choose the maps in the IEM or if it was loser chooses. I would think if it was loser chooses, this is a map that Artosis would choose. Not so great for Artosis is these close starting positions. This will actually allow MorroW to do a lot of early harassment. Wow, actually a proxy barracks going down for MorroW. In a recent thread on Team Liquid, there's a bit of a debate as to the meaning of proxy. I think proxy means a base away from your base. I don't know that it means proximity. I don't think that makes a lot of sense. Because then it makes it so that proxy only works for something near your opponent's base, when you could build a proxy up here just to hide your tech. But you wouldn't. So, relatively normal play for Artosis, getting his extractor a little bit later on his pool than normal. Last game we saw him get it around at 13-14, but maybe he just messed up his timing on that. Spawning pool going down now for Artosis. This barracks is done and a marine is coming out for MorroW. Has he actually found his base? He has not found his base yet, but he has seen some overlords, so he probably knows or has a good idea of where Artosis is. Looks like he's checking up here just to make sure. Ew, that was kind of gross. Okay, MorroW has found it. He sees the creep. So what's he going to do? He's going to run back and forth with this SCV. Not sure. Just trying to see. You know that with... same thing kind of with Idra as with Artosis. Oh, and there it is. And Artosis does see there is a barracks going down. Interesting. He starts building one and then starts building the other. And it looks like this SCV is just going to keep building. Artosis realizes that this is actually the same thing that happened in game 1. There are now 2 SCVs building these bunkers. We have 2 Marines on the way already and another Marine being produced. Production tab. Oy. Speedling research going down for Artosis. That is how far along? Not very far along at all, so he's not going to be able to do a lot with those Zerglings outside of creep. He will be able to beat these Marines in a straight fight, but those Marines are going to run back kite. They're going to be really obnoxious. He's got these bunkers to fall back to, and I actually really like this. MorroW going down below with most of his Marines, only bringing one up the top so he can do damage and attack this spawning pool. And we do have MorroW still just doing basic. All minerals at this point, still producing Marines out of this barracks. His base does have some supply depots to help prepare for some sort of wall off if he really ever does have to fall back. We have another bunker going down for MorroW, doing a scan to see what's going on. We have a baneling nest going down for Artosis, and that gas is up and running. He's got about 52 gas, or 102 rather, guys. Not sure where that number came from. Queen here doing a good job of keeping that vomit up. MorroW has Artosis completely contained with 5 Marines and 3 bunkers, laying down more bunkers, so if these even do fall, he can just unload and fall back into the one right behind it. Pretty crazy here by MorroW, definitely taking advantage of these bunkers, because there really is not a lot until this baneling nest, which is actually finished now. Until these banelings are out, there really isn't going to be a lot that Artosis can do to get out of this. He is trapped in his base. MorroW is still producing Marines, and back at his base, he's still just depending on pure minerals. Pretty much completely saturated at this point. Let me do a quick box just to see how much he has. Yeah, definitely saturated, sitting at 16. Full absolute saturation is 24, but 16. The difference between 16 and 24 as far as mineral gain is only like... I forget, it's really small. It's enough to be something, but really the main reason you want so many SCVs is so you can transport them when your natural and your expansions come out. Artosis flying around with this Overlord. He wants to see what's going on. Both refineries going down and more barracks going down for MorroW. He's content to just let these Marines and bunkers sit outside of Artosis' base. There are a lot of Banelings, a lot of Zernlings. Artosis is at a huge disadvantage. He's not doing what he would want to be doing at this point in the game. He's had to produce a lot more Zerglings. He's had to get these Banelings out. Hasn't been able to macro up. If you just look at the difference in workers, he doesn't even have 16 workers on minerals at the moment. We got these banelings out. We got some zerglings out. These bunkers are still here with only about 10 marines. And he is starting to be just laying down more barracks, getting his supply depots so he doesn't get supply blocked. Flying back that original barracks so that he doesn't lose it when Artosis does actually bust out of here. The Queen doing a good job vomiting. We got Lair Tech coming now for Artosis. We got a reactor coming down on these barracks. Command Center coming down to get that expansion set up for MorroW, and he is in a really good position right now. Artosis is still trapped in his base, still has to focus on these bunkers. He can't really get out of here. I think these banelings will be able to do it, but I'm not sure. It's actually really hard to know until he actually does it. I think he should be able to take out most of those bunkers. Going after that spawning pool again. If Artosis loses that spawning pool, he will definitely be out of this game, I think. There's really not a lot he can do even now because he's just trapped in his base. He can't get that expansion. He can't get the resources he needs to create the kind of force that he's going to need to beat off MorroW. And we do have a command center almost finished. That command center is on the work. Stim is on the way. Some marauders are on the way. He's going after that spawning pool again, and I think he may actually take it. Nope, he won't. Does a lot of damage to it, though. Very annoying. Artosis, I don't know what he's going to be able to do here. Going for a Nidus Worm, actually, that's pretty clever. If he can get past this bunker force, he can actually do a lot of damage, because there isn't a whole lot of defenses back at MorroW's base. We will see what Artosis is able to do. There are supply depots spaced out. MorroW has good vision of pretty much his entire base. If you look at this here, there's only one spot right here, but even that's not big enough for a Nidus Worm. So I don't know if this Nidus Worm play is going to work. I do know that Artosis, he can pretty much tell that there's no safe place for that Nidus Worm to go down. And MorroW is just spacing out Marines. He is ready. He's definitely shutting down any options that Artosis may have. We do have the Nidus Worm actually going up over on this side of the map. These bunkers are still staying here. We don't have a whole ton of units. There's a good amount of Marines out for MorroW right now, but this Baneling Zergling Ball could actually give him a lot of trouble. There's the Scream. MorroW's aware of it. MorroW is not doing anything to react. He is bringing these Marines back now, salvaging those bunkers. Artosis is able to get out of his base now. So this Nidus Worm, if anything, just made it so that MorroW had to play a little bit safer. He had to back up because now he does not have Artosis completely contained. And he is looking around. He didn't see where it was, but I guess he just kind of figured. And that Marine Force just got completely wiped out by these Zerglings. There is a lot of Banelings coming, but there are two Marauders holding things off. If he can get these Marauders down, these Banelings may be able to get in and bust that wall. He did not want to use Banelings on those Marauders. Here they come. They take out a bunker and two supply depots, but he lost pretty much his entire force. Here's another batch of Zerglings with some Banelings that are ready to go out, but MorroW has, I think, enough forces to defend this. He's got this supply depot being repaired. He's flying his command center down here. He's setting up bunkers in the front, and I think Artosis is not going to be able to do anything here. He's not going to be able to push this force back. There's stim on those Marines, those Zerglings. I think that's the right choice, pull him back. But he was able to get his expansion out, and we may see some more teching coming from Artosis now. Some Zerglings and Banelings, spawning in more Banelings. Looks like he may just want to take out the SCVs. I'm not sure what his main target here is going to be. We do see that starport out with a reactor on it now for MorroW. He's getting some dropships to support his little ground force. Fairly similar to the last game. MorroW is a big fan of bunkers. He's a very safe player from what I've seen. There is that scouting factory again. Not building anything out of it. Here comes some Banelings. Let's see what they can do. Doing a really good job of keeping those out. He has Marauders blocking his gaps. Those Banelings really aren't going to be able to do a whole lot. And does he actually not have... Where's that Baneling? Let's see. Okay, he does actually have centrifugal hooks. They just seemed really slow to me, but... And this factory is scouting. That expansion for Artosis did just complete. We're still producing just dropships out of here. We have a spire going up for Artosis right now. More drones working on getting his economy up, but he's still significantly behind. If we just look, harvesters, we're at 55 for MorroW, 25 for Artosis. Definitely not a good situation to be in if you're Artosis. Gonna use this queen to attack this factory, which will take forever. Factory is the best scout in the game apparently, because you can't kill it without anything until you get like anti-air. Here's a drop from MorroW in the main. Takes out a lot. Of. Oh my gosh, today is an awful day for my commentary. Here comes some more banelings and zerglings, taking out these forces of MorroW, but he does manage to take out the natural expansion. Still not mining again in his main. He really needs to get these these drones back to mining. He needs to get that money coming in. He's definitely way behind on workers and economy right now. MorroW is fully saturated at both his main and his expansion. He's getting gas. MorroW is in a very comfortable position right now. Just look at how much more he's able to produce. All we have right now for Artosis is a creep tumor and a muta, whereas for MorroW we have marauders, dropships, upgrades, another factory being built, some towers being built just in case some mutas do get out. Playing it very safe. MorroW is very, very smart and a very scary to play against. Very scary player. I can't think that I would do very well, but I'm only like platinum, so there's that. Doing some long distance mining now, Artosis. Wants to make sure that he can get that hatchery up as quickly as possible. He's very far behind economically though. He's more than twice the amount of minerals coming in for MorroW right now. And he is sending another drop in. This is actually looks like kind of a fake drop. Not a lot going on. We do have another drop coming in here from the south, so he's distracting those mutas and those zerglings, banelings. Artosis needs to get those sources. He has no idea this other attack's coming. MorroW is actually unloading down here. He's just going to walk in with those marines, and he's going to take out this hatchery again. He's going to completely hold it back. MorroW is actually floating a bit of minerals now, whereas Artosis is just struggling for money. He's saving up again, probably wanting to get that hatchery. Able to scare those forces a little bit, but he has no anti-air other than these mutas. The mutas are going to come in. Those banelings all just kind of waste themselves on marauders. They did kill them, but I don't know that it was really worth it. Mutas take down one of the dropships. I don't think they're going to be taken down anymore. We have plenty of dropships, plenty of marines and marauders, and a few marauders. I wouldn't say plenty of marauders, but we got some marauders with those marines. Missing a vomit opportunity here for Artosis, but I guess he's actually fully loaded on larva. The most you can have at a hatchery is 7, and he just doesn't have the money to support it anyway. He's also nearing supply blocked, but we'll see if he can fix that. Difference in food count is astronomical at this point. 60 food for Artosis, 136 for MorroW. 50, 60-ish, which is workers, whereas Artosis is still only at 30. 79 harvesters now for MorroW, and MorroW is just very much in control of this game. Gets a sensor tower down to make sure he's aware. He does see this force coming in. We've got tanks down, we've got dropships. Where are the rest of his marines? There's some of them. I thought he had a larger force, but it doesn't really matter. He's going to be able to hold off Artosis, no problem. Artosis trying to get this natural up again. Really not going that well. There is a dropship for MorroW. I guess just making sure that there's no sneaky expansions or anything, which I've talked about in my other recording. Always very good at making sure that his units are checking things out. Here's a pretty scary Marine Marauder force from MorroW coming in with these dropships, and I don't know that Artosis is going to be able to hold this off. If these banelings can do work, these hero banelings, hopefully, if they can do something against this force, we may see this game go on, but this is kind of going to be the moment for Artosis. If he cannot take these forces out, he is not going to be able to bring it back, and actually looking there, commanding victory by Artosis taking it there. Wow. Definitely. And there is the good game. So, again, this is Furious Jodo. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next time.